Well, hello everybody. Man, oh man, it feels like it's been a while. What do you guys think? It is Saturday. I have had a wonderful week. I got to go to Buffalo for my beautiful sister's wedding. What's going on, Chef? Had a fantastic time with the family. Got to meet a member of my family I've never met before, which is an extremely long story. And all around felt the love of being home. Had some really good pizza. Had a beef on weck sandwich, which only people from Buffalo know about. And yeah, all around good time. Couldn't complain. So, Mr. Paul Maitland, how are you doing, artist extraordinaire? Murph, you've had a week to process the loss. Listen, man. It was a good game, Murph. Our defense held when it needed to. It is proven that the Buffalo Bills are a second half team. It was not for lack of trying. Paul. The first half wasn't. It was a tale of two halves. And that's not cliche. The first half was all Baltimore and Buffalo dysfunction. The second half was all Buffalo and Baltimore dysfunction. And honestly, it wasn't Baltimore dysfunction. We made clutch plays. We made 2 interceptions by the same player that could have been contested balls, but he just had the better angle on it. If those 2 interceptions go the other way, it is a very different game. So Murph, do not self-deprecate that game. It was 1 play, maximum 2 plays, away from being a very different story. Harbaugh did not call the plays I believe he should have played. I believe he also owned that after the game, if I'm not mistaken. He owned to some of it. What's going on, Kevin P. West? Another artistic extraordinaire, as they say in France. Oh, goodness gracious. So I do have a couple of things to open, courtesy of Chef and Dangle. Chef, Dangle, are you guys doing a hit break out of these 3? Is that what I think you guys are doing? Or did Dangle just buy to buy the last one? Because I know he's wily. He does that. Oh, there you go, man. New York ComicCon, outstanding. Even though I was not far, I was busy with family. I also got to meet a really awesome individual. On my flight home, I got to sit next to, and by flight home, I mean home to LA. On my flight home, I got to sit next to an absolutely dynamic personality. An up-and-coming fashion designer that was actually flying in for Fashion Week and has a 1,000-person show that's going on right now as I'm speaking these words. She is slaying it. Her fashion is killing it right now as we speak. Mac the Tailor is the Instagram. As a matter of fact, see if we can let me see if I can pull it up. All right, so this is Mac now. I, DC the Breaker, am showing this because it was a conversation I have. Obviously, she hasn't spoke to anybody else from DCD Collects, but an absolutely fascinating conversation with an absolutely fascinating person who is going to do anything she wants to do and achieve anything she wants to do simply based on talking to this person for 2 hours. Not only is she an artist in the form of design, and as we had in our conversation stated, art, as you know, what we specialize in, manifests itself in many ways. And fashion is just one of those. But everything is handmade, her design, it's fantastic. And in our conversation, she was talking about something else that is near and dear to her that I said I was going to talk about. And I am. She is a Baltimore police officer. And anybody who knows Baltimore knows that being a police officer in Baltimore is not one of the easiest jobs in the world. And as a matter of fact, probably one of the most dangerous that you can get. And in our conversation, she had mentioned that while chasing a suspect and going after a suspect, she was injured severely. And as a result of that injury, she came up with something that is very rare, very unknown, called CRPS. That is the Complex Regional Pain Syndrome. CRPS is a form of chronic pain that usually affects an arm or leg and typically develops after injury, which it was in this case, surgery, stroke, or heart attack, and the pain is out of proportion to the severity of the initial injury. And this is what I found fascinating. I told her I find it fascinating and not in necessarily a macabre nature. But she is the Bionic Woman. Legitimate. And I asked her if I could talk about this on the show. I told her I'd be live, and she gave me permission. So, Destiny, shout out. She has a wire that runs the length of her spine. And at the end of that wire is a connection for a battery pack. And one of the things that CRPS does is it fires. What's going on, Panda? How you doing, buddy? It fires all of your neurons to tell you you're in pain. It fires them off all at once, and it overloads your nervous system and causes you to basically become paralyzed, not figuratively, literally. So what they have found is they install this wire into your spine, and it basically gives a vibration or a tap, an electrical repeating charge. And as long as she keeps herself, and she showed them to me, she pulled out, she has 2 like cell phone chargers for a rudimentary comparison. Obviously, these are like medical ones. Kevin P. West says, I have 2 simulators implanted in me, one for my lower back and one for my neck. Kevin P. West already knows where I'm going with this. Stimulators. So she literally plugs this thing, not she didn't in front of me, but she would plug this thing in, charge up her wiring, and that allows her to be mobile. If she ever ran out of juice, she becomes paralyzed. And since this did happen on the job, obviously Baltimore was able to, because it's very expensive. All right, Murph, take care, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Very expensive, but she's very fortunate. It does have this, which allows her to live a fairly normal life. And instead of getting upset and instead of getting mad about it, which normal person would, she decides to pursue her passion, which is design. And it is paying off as she is in LA Fashion Week. So I said I would absolutely love to share her creative side and her story so that other people would see her, hear her, and follow her on this journey. I mean, look at this. I'm not going to lie. I would wear that and I would kill it everywhere I went. Because you guys know I can pull that off. When she sent me the link of her stuff, I was like, yeah, all of it. I'm down. So dope stuff. If you are into fashion, or if you want to follow the journey, if it is your cup of tea, toss a follow. Great person to talk to. Honestly, I was blown away by our conversation. I wished our flight was actually longer so that we could continue chatting not only about CRPS, but about fashion in and of itself. So Kevin P. West could also understands this. Now, here's something that's crazy. She said, while it is extremely rare, there is a disproportionate number of Aussies that get this. There is a huge concentration of our friends down under that end up with this debilitating ailment. Mac the Tailor. Mac the Tailor. MACKTHETAILOR. But wrong button. Awesome. Well, thank you, Paul. Paul's like followed. Kevin says, I did the same thing. I had not been drawing for over 11 years until I was injured in 2000. Once I was told I was disabled and never going to get better, I fell in love with art again. Here's what I can tell you. It's, I have been told that when you are faced with a set of parameters that are outside your control, everything in your life comes into a different perspective. And people embrace the things that they thought they weren't going to do. And I think it's awesome that Destiny and Kevin have found that. That's fantastic. I love it. So, interesting stuff, man. Unbelievable, Kevin, that you yourself have this. Completely shocking to meet and kind of have this jump out. Bonk, Chef. Chef, if I may, can I have you elaborate, if you want, why you may agree with that sentiment? But fascinating conversation. And it was really eye-opening to understand that when you are looking at somebody, you may not know something is wrong until they tell you. Chef says, Chef de Shaky is not just a clever name. It is clever for a couple of reasons, because he is the Parkinsons Chef. Our dear friend Chef does have Parkinson's. And he's pursuing his passion. And if it's not cooking, it's going to be teaching. And if it's not going to be teaching, it's going to be teaching to cook. Or both, or whatever's in between. So, Ooh. Kevin's like, yes. Kevin's like, I got to watch my kids grow up. Not many dads get to do that. It's true. It's very true. And yeah, Chef's like both teaching and cooking. I I'm okay at cooking. I can follow a recipe, which is more than a lot of people can do. I can create. I know flavor profiles, and I can put things together that are fun. But I wouldn't call myself a chef. I would have maybe 4 folds in my hat instead of 100. That's it. And one of them would be hard boiled. So nothing fancy at all. Ooh, excuse me. Thirsty. All right, so while I was gone, let's talk about while I was gone in addition to my plane ride, my illuminating plane ride. The wedding was beautiful. I can't share photos yet, but I will share photos soon as the photographer allows us to. Trevor T Money did a little break, and I was pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I have said this. He's like, you are excused. um, I did. I had a lot of fun. Trevor upstaged me. Let's be honest. He opened some baseball. And I have been saying for a long time, what's going on, Sketch School? What's up, man? Another one of our featured artists. I love it. Just paintbrush after paintbrush after paintbrush in the chat. How many other places are you going to go that is not an artist channel that has this many artists chilling? Nowhere. I watched the video. I wasn't able to watch it live. Thursday was the actual wedding, and it went until 10 p.m. And then obviously we went out afterwards, 10 p.m. Eastern. So I was not able to participate in the show whatsoever. Doug and Trevor did a bang-up job. I've always told Trevor, you know way more about baseball than I do. I've given up on baseball in my life. It's just over. Once my team decided to cheat, I no longer want to watch baseball. My heart has been broken for the sport. I'm done with baseball. It's over for me. I said, you need to be opening all of the baseball stuff because, quite frankly, your name is Trevor's Baseball Cards. I can't hold a candle. And sure as sugar is sweet, he absolutely crushes a couple of boxes of fire and humiliates my ability to break baseball. So thankfully, I don't believe we're getting very much more baseball in, or else I'd have to have Trevor do more. What's going on, Doug? So I am humbled by how well Trevor has done. And I was actually getting stuff ready to ship out today and thumbing through that, and oh boy, Dangle did well. Did very well. Let me take a look at this here. And that's the button I want. All right, so we have 3 boxes of Star Wars. Hockey is coming, believe me. Hockey is coming. We pre-sailed it. We bought it before it came out months ago. 3 boxes of Star Wars Sig Series. When Dangle gets here, we're gonna do a 2-person 3-box random hit break. It'll be fun. While I'm thinking of that, I'm gonna go ahead and set that up. while I am thinking about it. All right, we have Chef, and Dangle. I know I should have done this a half hour ago, but I had 2 weeks basically worth of shipping to do. It will be done, by the way, for those who have orders in. It will be done. All right, that box is too big. Let's make that box smaller. It will be done and in the mail on Monday. FYI. There we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. Sharing the love. Chef is showing people what Sean MacArthur's got. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to boast. I am going to brag. I am going to call this a win for myself. When I met Sean a year ago at last year's New York ComicCon, I simply walked by his table. I don't even think he was there. I think he was out chatting with other artists. I walked by his table. I looked, I kept walking, I stopped, and I looked again and was like, I need to find this guy and talk to him. And sure enough, I hovered around until he returned, got a couple of commissions, and then was like, oh, Lee has to meet this person. So I am not surprised people are sharing Sean's work. I am not surprised at all. And I am not happy anniversary. I am not surprised, and I won't be surprised when some of you guys see Kevin and Paul's work coming out soon. Because while I was not familiar with them until I was introduced to them, I have quickly become a fan of both of them as well. Another name that I met at last year's New York Comic-Con, Max Davenport, is going to be in on some of the action in the very soon to be had breaks that are coming up. Oh, you're welcome, man. Paul, honestly, I don't know the cost of New York Comic-Con because I was there as a curator, not as a exhibitor. But I can't imagine it's more expensive than San Diego Comic-Con. As a matter of fact, I bet the hotels are cheaper in New York because we got a really nice hotel not far away for about a third of the price as it would have been in San Diego Comic-Con if we decided not to do an Airbnb. So overall, it may actually be cheaper to do an NYCC versus an SDCC. FYI. I do, by the way, and I know it's only 3 boxes, and I know the people that bought this didn't know this, but I do have. Paul's like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's out of my budget. You need to get a sponsor. That's what you got to do, man. I have seen other artists that had on their poster ink companies, pen companies, color pencil companies, their logos on there. So I'm willing to wager they're kicking a couple $100 to have their name up there, which can go a very long way to getting you there. Just like the old fighters in the UFC, get some small sponsorship logos on your banner and get it funded for you. Why pay out of pocket when you can get a corporation you use and love to pay for you? I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Just saying. It's an idea. I'm an idea guy. It's what I do. I come up with ideas. They're either really great or they're really dumb. This one to me sounds really great. which in my head sounds really dumb. But I digress. Even though there was no announcement for it, and this Star Wars SIG series is only 3 boxes and impromptu, it has a bad beat bonus that neither Dangle or Chef are aware of. And I will let you guys know what it is when the break is over. If you get a hotel on Staten Island, it would be even cheaper when you go to NYCC. We stayed at the New Yorker Hotel. We stayed at the New Yorker, and I think it was $200 a night, which, if you were to go to New York ComicCon, it's $500 to $700 a night to be that close. We were about 4 blocks away, maybe. It wasn't far. We had James, and he walked there, so it definitely wasn't far. He was 5 at the time. He may have been pushed part of the way, but we would not be walking down a huge swath of the city if it was far. Whatevs. Nope, it definitely doesn't. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah, I forgot to mention, for those who also want to get in some action tonight, Chef's like, we can make it easy and just give Derek the top pick. So listen, here's what I will tell you, Chef. By the way, what's up, Ice Wolf? Oh God, listen, gentlemen, ladies, please. I am 2 weeks behind on Andor. I am 3 weeks behind on Dragons. I am not watching Rings of Power. After 3 weeks, I gave up. I didn't believe the hype. Actually, I didn't know there was hype. I didn't know people hated Rings of Power until after week 3. I'm like, God, I hate this now. It's bad. And then I started Googling, am I the only one that thinks this sucks? And sure enough, after Googling, I think this sucks, everyone's like, oh, this sucks. I'm like, oh, good, I'm not the only one that thinks this sucks. My personal opinion, and an opinion may not be shared by DCD Collects, is Ring of Power sucks. I tried. I don't like it. I don't. Yeah, I figured it was going to be a slow roll, Sean. I figured they were going to take the Tolkien approach, even though it's not Tolkien material, technically. But I didn't realize that it was just going to be awful until the last episode. I'm told the final episode or the final 2 episodes is where everything happens, but it's like, you already lost me. I'm not sitting through 4 to get to 2 good ones. It's not Game of Thrones where 1, 2, and 3 are going to set up. 4, 5 are going to be good. 7 is going to have something crazy. 8's going to be boring. 9's going to be cataclysmic. And 10's going to be, come back next year. Like, you knew the last 3 seasons, even the 8-episode seasons, you knew what episodes were going to be good and what ones were going to be bad. There was a definite pattern. I was like, well, maybe it's going to be no, it's a turd. It's a turd sandwich. Again, it's my opinion. It's not a fact. If you enjoy it, listen. Tell me why you enjoy it. Get mad at me, man, and be like, hey, DC, you don't know what you're talking about. It's great. It's got intellectual draw. I'm open to that discussion. I just think it's duty. That's just me. But I started talking about this. If somebody did want to get nasty, we do have 2 cases of our very inexpensive and easy go-to Pieces of the Past one-time edition. So I will either sell it as a case or crack it individually. It's y'all's choice. It's your show. I just host it. So, yeah. Oh, that's new. Oh. Neato. Icewolf says, I'm liking it, but I'm still really mad that it took the budget that Wheel of Time should have had, so it has a smaller chance of being the epic it could have and should have been. Amazon not really giving it a fair chance, because all the budget went to Rings. The new Hellraiser on Hulu is also very good. So, I'm going to be honest with you, Kevin, and this might upset you a little bit. Don't think any less of me. So, growing up, I've seen the Friday the 13th. I've seen about half of the Halloweens. I've seen 2 or 3 of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I was born in 1980, so they were coming up while I was still fairly young. I watched all the classics with Lugosi, and Ed Wood's humorous attempt at horror. I never watched a Hellraiser. I think it was because it had hell in the title. My parents wouldn't let me. Creature of the Black Lagoon, I actually went to where that was filmed, Silver Springs, Florida. Or, by the way, Tarzan and one of the Thunderballs was also shot. I've seen a lot of Lon Chaney's stuff. The original Nosferatu, both the one with sound and the one without. Good luck finding the one with original sound. It's in terrible condition, but I watched it to say I did. I understand and respect horror. I know that, like only 2 years older than me, Paul. I know that there are people, and it's not everybody, that might as well have you look at me. There's no reason to look at the boxes. The stimulus to the brain in being scared is the same as being excited. And from the psychology that I learned in school, it has to do with your fight and flight response. So some people will love horror, some people will not. I enjoy the campiness of 80s horror. I enjoy the cinematic masterpieces that are the classics. However, I will not seek out a horror film or a slasher flick. I will not go out of my way to see those. Because I am of the ilk that life is absolutely horrifying and scary as it is, just living it. I don't need any added horror and scariness peppered in to an already terrifying existence. So, I know I have not seen any of the It's. I love Tim Curry. think Tim Curry is a national treasure to his nation. But I won't see this upcoming Hellraiser. I won't watch any of the modern things. I do love Rob Zombie, so I've seen everything Rob Zombie's done, just because I love him as an artist, and I know what he's trying to achieve with his movies, and I respect what he's trying to achieve. So I look at it beyond the content and see it for the art. Chef's like, I hit a half century this year. Nice, man. Nice. I'm only 8 years away. Ice was like, Hellraiser is my favorite horror movie series. Only one that I could watch without nightmares. Not sure what said about me as a child, but Pinhead is just an amazing character. And Paul says, I like clever horror or campy horror. So at John Carpenter's The Thing, to Killer Clowns from Outer Space was fantastic because it based itself on the fact that there is an inherent fear of clowns in a sizable portion of the world. I can't remember what it's called. I know one of you will know. But fear of clowns is a real thing. I've actually known several people that were scared to death of clowns and didn't know who John Wayne Gacy was. John Carpenter's The Thing was probably one of the first, call it, I would say it was half psychological horror, half monster horror. I'm not saying it's the first that I was exposed to in my youth. The Thing was terrifying. Something about carrying a man around by his mouth with one hand was horrifying and still resonates. What's going on, Craig? Oh, Jesus, Craig. I'm sorry to hear that, man. No bueno. I did not know. My condolences, friend. But yes, Craig is kind of illustrating in a more poignant way what I'm talking about. So I tend to seek out comedies. I prefer non-self-deprecating humor because there's enough people picking on each other and hurting each other. So self-deprecating humor, anything Ben Stiller does, like Meet the Fockers, I can't watch it. I can't watch somebody get made fun of. I've been that person. I was not popular in school until I started punching bullies in the mouth. So and this is just personal experience. It's just me. What's going on, Tangle? So I don't have the broad movie viewing that I should, but I do respect those genres. I do not take anything away from them. I just choose to live in a different space. With that said, if DCD Collects was to do a Halloween-themed Monsters box, I will bet you I will know every single person and monster and being in there because I'm still up to date on the pop culture significance of them. Yeah, I can't do cringe comedy. I can't. I love English humor. And it's not because I lived there, because I lived there, albeit briefly. But the dry English humor I find extremely intelligent. It's dry because you have to think about it. The average person, by the time they've thought about it, the joke is over, they're on to the next joke, and they don't have time to laugh. I love that. I think it's brilliant. Things that even Bill Murray has brought a very dry English humor, and people don't realize. Early in life, Bill Murray was an absurdist, and that is a type of comedy. Google it. I'm not going to define it. Yeah, Kevin's like, because we write the names of the characters on the back. No, I bet you I'll know them without flipping it over. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Dave Stevens, videographer and photographer to the stars, saying it's DC, breaker of the cards of the stars. And it's true. Everybody in here is a star. Blackadder. Oh my, so two heroes, Rowan Atkinson. If you've never, Rowan Atkinson is so much more than Mr. Bean. Blackadder, Faulty Towers, absolutely fabulous, Abfab. Um, yes. But Bill Murray was an absurdist early in his career. In his older age, he has actually turned to very dry English comedy. And one of my favorite things he ever did, from a movie that is criminally underrated, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, was there's a throwaway scene where he is outside of a screening of his movie, and this is his character, who is a pseudo Jacques Cousteau. And he's got his hat, and he always wears the hat. He takes his hat off, and I believe it's Willem Dafoe's character comes up to him and says, and forgive me, I'm actually going to swear for one of the few times ever, because I'm going to quote this movie. More sardonic humor. There you go. I like it, Paul. Best way to put it. And Bill Murray's character, Steve Zissou, has been leveled with some bad news. And Willem Dafoe's character walks up to him and says, "Steve, you look like shit." And Bill's character, without missing a beat, goes, "Is that better?" To this day, I have seen that movie 36 times, and I have to stop the movie to stop laughing because of how just dry and just how throwaway that line is. And I recommend watching that movie and realize it's not going to be your cup of tea if you're not a Wes Anderson fan. I think Wes Anderson, by the way, arguably greatest director of all time. Not many people agree. No Look Putt the other day, he does some amazing things on the golf course. I did not see that, but I'll Google it. Now, I am going to pivot violently because now everybody that is in here is in here. We only had 3 boxes of this. Chef said, "I'll buy 2. If somebody buys a third, we'll do a draft hit break just for funsies." Unbeknownst to Dangle and Chef, I have added a bad beat bonus. So whoever is at the bottom of the randoming at the end of this is going to get something they didn't know they were going to get. So Dangle and Chef, are you ready to see what's inside these boxes? And while I wait for them to tell me whether they're ready or not, let me remind you how this works is they have already purchased these 3 boxes. I am going to open those boxes now. I am going to show you what's inside of them. I'm going to list those 3 items on our spreadsheet, and I am going to random the 2 people involved for the 3 spots, Chef getting 2, Dangle getting 1. At the end of 7 random times, whoever's on top is going to get pick of the litter. Whoever's second gets the second choice, and whoever is alone at the bottom gets whatever's left over, plus a bad beat bonus from yours truly. Without any further ado on the shoe, Dangle's like, "I'm ready for Chef to get first and third pick." Well, let's manifest that destiny, shall we, Dangle? All right, here it is, 2022 Star Wars 6 Series. Hits Draft Break featuring Dangle and the Chef. I would watch a movie called Dangle and the Chef. All right, first item. Maybe. It's animated. It's Tonway. Voiced by Rena Owen. At least it won't be bourbon again. number 2. Let's type as I go. It adds to the suspense. You know, I almost want to keep this one for the end. The reason you ask? Great question. It's numbered 1 out of 5. It is. It's 1 out of 5. Numbered 1 of 5. And, you know, people really like this character. Kanan Jarrus. Voiced by the one and only Freddie Prinze Jr. BT Dub. That's Fred. Kanan Jarrus. FPJ. That's kind of a big deal. I might be underselling it a bit. But there you go. He's also got a really hot wife. Dangle's like, hell yeah, congrats, chef. Dangle's like, I know I'm not getting that. Like, I know that's not mine. That's too nice to be mine. Dangle's like, well, DC, I know you didn't open that for me. There we go. Hey, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe it's because there's a nasty 101 in here. Maybe it's not a nasty 101, but maybe it is an absolute fan favorite character. Somebody that may or may not be represented in an animated break if we do it. Is Driver a signer? I believe every major player is a signer here. There's even Carrie Fisher in here. Fan favorite, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Are we seeing a live action Thrawn? You know Mads. Here's Lars. So listen, Derek. There are 2 really good cards here. There's one not so good card. The question is, do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do ya? All right, so there's Chef Dangle, Tonway, Kanan Jarrus, Grand Admiral Thrawn. And see, it's been a good day so far. Why not? Test that fate, man. All right, you know the drill, guys. 7 times. Whoever's on top after 7 gets first pick, and so on and so forth. Good luck to both of you. Oh, Dangle, that's 6. What are the chances of it staying just like that for 7? All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah! Chef Dangle. All right, Chef. What are you picking for 1 and 2? Oh, wait a second. We have a trade. Have I ever broke Star Wars Masterworks 2021? Not 2021, but I did break earlier Masterworks working for my last company. I've broken cases of Star Wars Masterworks. Dangle is a little bit behind. He's like, oh man. Chef is being selfless and offering you the top spot, Dangle. Do you accept or decline? You did sketch cards for 2020 and 2021. I definitely opened 2020. Um, at that time, I was not familiar with a lot of the artists. It wasn't until I left that company and joined this one that I became more artist forward. I would always announce the artist, but I did not necessarily follow the artists. Now I know a lot of people's work. I have evolved in my ability to collect and to help others collect. I know it's a tough call, Derek. It's a tough call. Chef is being very selfless. Ooh, Dangle's gonna decline, but he appreciates your very generous offer. All right, there it is. So, Chef, pick 2. Thrawn and the 1 of 5. Derek got the Tonwee he wanted. Johnny Rotten, how's it going, man? The Bad Beats is a little bounty hunter action. Oh, I'm doing great, man. How are you doing? It is your officially licensed ID badge lanyard, and it is a very nice one, I must add. Two-sided. That is your bad beat bonus. Oh, goodness gracious. Water, water, water. So who else had a good week? And I'm not going to lie, Dangle. You did really well yesterday, or excuse me, Thursday, while I was gone. I'd say that Lubob auto out of 50 is pretty dope. You are welcome. You are welcome. All right, let me see what else we have here. As for what everybody has been waiting for, let me pull this up. Where's DCDcollects.com? There's DCDcollects.com. Dangle, why would you think that? I never said it was going to be an Ice Wolf card. Dangle's like, man. Oh, Dangle. You're the danglest. That's an ego boost. Yeah, so like Ice Wolf, there you go, man. Somebody gave up the #1 spot, assuming they were getting something from you. That is pretty dang good. That should be a big ego boost. All right, here's what we have left for this week. Next week, this is going to change. We have a case of Super Break Pieces of the Past. We have a box personal of the Elite First Off the Line football. We can do a conference break of said Elite First Off the Line. We've got some Legacy, some Golden Age, and a handful, well, slightly bigger than a handful, of clearly authentic baseball. If you guys wanted to do a hit break of the baseball, we could do that as well. I am game. I'm game for whatever. It's been a week since I've opened anything aside from what we just did. So I am game for everything. Just not a team break. It's too much sorting. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I thought I heard explosions outside, and I was correct. there's fireworks going off at the Santa Barbara beach. So besides Mighty Taco, what did you indulge in while back in Buffalo? Don, I love you, buddy. In reality, I was only in Buffalo for 4 days. Because Sunday I was on a plane the entire day. Thursday I was at the wedding for 10 hours. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were the only days I got to do really anything. And Monday, I'm sorry, not Monday, Tuesday, I slept the entire day. Slept the entire day. I caught up on a ton of sleep that I've been missing. I have been quite exhausted lately. And I got some much needed sleep. I had a pizza sub. For those who don't know what a pizza sub is, because believe it or not, pizza subs are a regional thing, and I couldn't find one in half of the states I lived in. You guys know a sub or a hoagie or a grinder or a bomber, whatever it is in your general area that you call a long sandwich bun cut in half with stuff stuffed in the middle. Imagine making one of those open face and putting pizza sauce on there and mozzarella cheese and cup and char pepperoni and sending it through the pizza maker, and then when it comes out, making a sandwich out of it. So you have some wonderfully bubbly browned cheese and charred pepperoni in the middle of a sandwich. That's a piece, just pizza sub. So I had one of those. And if you are a chef or are somebody who owns a restaurant and that is a novel idea, I'm pretty sure it's not patented. You can make them. I mean, since you've never heard of them before, just call them a DC and give me like $1 from everyone you sell. I had a beef on wax sandwich. Beef on wax, for those who don't know, is very, 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 very rare roast beef that is medium sliced with au jus on a Kimowek roll. A Kimowek roll is similar to a Kaiser roll with thick, like large rock salt, not like rock salt as in driveway rock salt, but large granulated salt. Caraway seeds dipped on the top. Too bad I didn't go to Philly. That's a long way from Buffalo. Philly's gotta be 6-7 hours from Buffalo. Yeah, Dangle's like, yeah, they don't have them here, but I've had 1 or 2 pizza subs. They're freaking awesome. Listen, if you like sandwiches, like sub sandwiches or whatever you call them, grinders, hoagies, whatever. If that's what you like, and you also like pizza, you are doing yourselves a disservice by not having a pizza sub. You can make one at home. It's effing easy. You take a French bread. Even a French bread, as long as it's not hard. Just a soft, Italian, French. I didn't mean French. I meant Italian. Take an Italian bread, cut it in half, put a layer of sauce, a layer of mozzarella, and a layer of pepperonis on it. Bake it. Throw a little broil at the end to brown it up. Pull that bad boy out. Flip it over. Shove it in your maw and tell me how much you love me. I was extremely, but dude, I honestly, Don, I did want to come see you. Don, I was in Alden. I was stuck in Alden, so even if I wanted to leave, there was not much around me in Alden. Dangle said, I've got some super breaks. Chef said, I've got some super breaks. They're basically saying, DC, enough about you. Let's talk about us. So Dangle's got 1. Chef's got 4. I mean, there's half a case right there. All right. Dangle. Dangle, why don't you pick the box, left or right? Excuse me. It's that carbonated water. But yeah, Don, it was great. I did sleep an entire day away. But I did try to have something from home exclusively found at home every day. I can tell you, I did manage to not have a single chicken wing when I was home. And that was purely on accident. That's true. Should we battle the first one? Left must be right. I mean, I don't know, man. It's between you guys. Again, it's your show. I just hosted. I don't want you to think of it as DCD Collect's show. It's y'all's show. We just host. Actually, I'm gonna need this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. There we go. Oh, you guys are funny. I mean, Dangle. He does have a 4-1 advantage on you. It just depends if you want to be the underdog. This one, I wouldn't have one that would fit this properly. This would be a hit draft break. So, Chef says he's happy either way. Dangle, it's up to you. You can either draw or draft. Draw or draft. Oh, Chef. Chef, listen, here, I'm going to tell you this. This is my honest truth. I don't have a bad beat for this one. I don't have a bad beat for this one. So before you say anything or make any deals, this one I do not have a bad beat for. I don't. I mean, unless you want like a $2 coupon off of Claritin D. I don't have anything. I got nada. All right then. So if there are 5 total ordered, we have. Oh, Chef, that's a novel idea. Derek, what do you think? Listen to this. Chef says, I pick the boxes, but you get the first pick. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So while you mull that over, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Guardians will be playing the Yankees. I saw that, Brent. As soon as I saw that win, I immediately thought of you, Brent. I was like, I know an extremely happy human being right now. So good for you, dude. I hope you beat the Yankees bottom because I am not a Yankees fan. Even though I don't like baseball, I definitely don't like the Yankees. All right, then. He is in. Chef, what numbers, what 5 boxes do you want? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Put these other ones off to the corner. These are the ones that we have chosen. Dangle's like, I'll see you in the ALCS. All right, then. 2022 Pieces of the Past One-Time Edition. This is 5 boxes. 4 of those boxes go to Chef. 1 of them go to Dangle. Dangle gets the pick of the litter because Chef chose the litter. I came dangerously close to cutting my thumb there. I'm so glad that is a safety blade. It's not funny, but it's true. All right, first up. Oh, I gotta empty my garbage. All right. False start. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down. Numero uno. Is it me or is the white balance terrible? It is the butt end of the Declaration of Independence. Still waiting on the first one. Yeah, basically you bought half of the case, so you have about a 50-50 shot at the auto. Mozart, Beethoven, and Beck, also known as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Ludwig van Beethoven, and Johann Sebastian Bach. Yeah, I don't like the way this is shining. Let's see if we can make this prettier. Let me see if I can make this prettier. Let's see what we can do here. I'm not going to talk about thinking it was Legacy with a stack of packs each. A draft break makes way more sense. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're getting Legacy, you have to, that has to be a personal break. White balance. There we go. That's more human. Great. There we go. That looks better. Wolfgang Van Halen. Yes. Yeah. Should be. No, not really, man. As much as I would love to take that joke and pin it on Trevor, no. For some reason, this camera does not like, and this interface we use doesn't like to save our settings, even when we press save the settings. So I have to tweak it. And as you can see, it's already reverted, even though I removed the auto white balance. It's just a jerk. Oh. Andrew Carnegie, Hank Ford, and J.P. Morgan. I can tell you that Andrew Carnegie is definitely... Stop. Oh, you're focusing on my shirt. Okay. How about now? How about now? How about now? No. That is a telegram. I would bet a solid copper penny, if they made them anymore, that Andrew Carnegie is a telegram. It has what used to be black ink that has faded into purple, as they did not use high quality ink on telegrams because they were usually one-off throwaways. It has a fold, and as you know, they were usually trifold. That is going to be a piece of stock, I would have to assume. What that is, I don't know. Although I would guess that is the TOR and the C from Motor Company, which would make me believe that's a piece of Ford stock. But I'm telling you, I think that is a Carnegie telegram. That is my personal opinion. That one is pretty cool. I dig that one. Not gonna lie. Come on, autograph. Good old Christopher Columbus. He never did anything wrong. Something about wide-spreading parts. Quick and artistic. Sounds like he was drawing her like his French girls. Didn't know Chris was an artist. All right, last shot at the auto, or else that other half of the case becomes pretty interesting. Oh, it's not backwards. It's not backwards. Oh! We have an authentic bronze coin from the Greek and Roman era. It's just a baby. That is definitely a cull, but authentic nonetheless. Yeah, fun fact, they have Zeus on here. Zeus was not featured on a lot of ancient currency. Believe it or not, they would usually dedicate them to the smaller, lesser gods. And it would be on the adverse part of the coin. The front of the coin was almost always the emperor of the time. Dangle's like, yeah, I'm taking Zeus. All right, guys, we're gonna have a fight. Pick your sides. Yeah, I'm taking Zeus. There you go. Russell Crowe is coming to your house. Chef, that means you got that awesome tri-piece. You got the People Making America. The what I believe to be the Carnegie telegram. Yeah, you have the yes, and the other triple too. There is two triples in there. So here's where I become a giant jerk. Here's where you guys groan, because now I have to tell you the autograph is in here. That's the info. Whatever you want to do with that information. Both of my Marine instructors now get a piece of the Declaration of Independence. There you go. There you go. Good old ROTC. My nephew wants to do Sea Cadets because his father and I were in the Navy. These would be way cooler if we could look up where it came from and the history behind it. I agree. So The next time Doug has a conversation with the owner of Super Breaks, I think I am going to say, hey, it's not going to take you much effort, and it would behoove you to do so to get some more personalized backs on those. Now, for the coins, those coins are what, and I am I am a amateur in the coin industry of ancient coins. I get them dirty, and I actually clean them and sort and classify them myself. That is what would be considered a cull coin. It's a coin that has indistinguishable or broken appearances. You can have ones that are gorgeous if they have a chip out of the side of them or cracked in the middle. It's still considered a cull. It's hard to identify culls that are worn, but you can typically get a general idea of it being between 200 BC and 300 CE, which is current era. They don't use the term AD, they use CE in coinage. So there's about a 500-year swath that likely came from. As far as the stocks and telegrams, yes, it would behoove them to definitely say what stocks and telegrams those came from. Dangle. Dangle said, I want 2 of those 5. Now, Dangle, I am going to counter your 2 and ask if anybody else wants to give it the old college try, because you're sitting at a 1 in 5 chance. Dangle, do you just want your 2, or do you want to continue to tempt fate? That is completely up to you, since you bought them just now. Have you missed anything epic? Yes. You missed another ancient coin. Actually, I'll show. It's a cull. It's an itty bitty one. But it is authentic nonetheless. Little bronzy. Doug, I need your professional opinion. As somebody who has been around collectibles for a large portion of their life, I would like you to give me your best guess, and I will give you mine. I'll actually lead with mine. We got a memorabilia one. And if I had to use my knowing and wherewithal, I am going to say, of course it's going to be the last one. Why would it be one of the first 3? Check this out. That is obviously a stock certificate. That is likely the motor company stock certificate. However, this very thin piece of paper with a fold in it, let me get it to... This piece of paper is thin. It has a fold in it. And the typed letters used to be black, have faded to purple. My theory, due to the thinness of the paper, the fold, and the fade, is that's a telegram. What if you had to guess? What do you think that is? My vote is telegram. It does look like a telegram to you as well. Okay, because that's my immediate knee-jerk reaction was thin paper, fold, and actual typeface. Chef got the last 3. Sepulros, ¿qué pasó? He said, I guess it's a telegram too. That's what I thought. That was what my hunch was, based on the context clues. All right, so then, Dangle and Chef, are we going to do a hit break, or are you just going to split them up and take what is drawn? Could have been blue. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, now that I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. Chef says hit break. Dangle, what are you saying? Yes, I'm playing with a box cutter. That's the noise. I mean, it's up to you, Dangle. You ordered them first. I am not pressuring you either way. Oh, hit break for sure. All right. Okie dokie then. It's 3-2. Chef to Dangle. Let me set up the paperwork. Let me make it official. Bear with me. Okay. Again, I do not have a bad beat bonus for this one. I am all out of bad beat bonuses today. All right, Chef, Dangle, Dangle. Chef, Dangle, Dangle. All right, who's ready to see an autograph? We know the autograph fell into the second half of the case. So now, wow, that was interesting. Let's put that one on top and see if that's the auto. Popped right out of my hand. No, it's definitely not handwriting. I can tell you it's absolutely typed. I will go out on a limb and say it's typed. It is. I see no question. It is typed. All right, first item. First item. Good luck, gents. Let's get something nasty. Oh, this is, wow, it's an open count share. So this means this at one point, this one certificate was 30 shares of common stock. Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Little Thomas Edison. That is really cool. That's the first time we've had a actual designation to the number of shares on the certificate. Nice. That's sharp. That's got eye appeal. That's a good-looking card right there. That's a good-looking card right there. That is one heck of a good start. That is one heck of a good start. I'm going to call that Edison Stock 30. That's a piece of Barack Obama's book. We'll call it the Obama book. Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso, as a human being, is one of Lee Cozy's absolutely favorite human beings. Boy, does Lee talk about how much he loves Pablo as a person. He thinks his contribution to art is amazing, and Lee is absolutely enamored with Pablo Picasso as a human and a scholar. It looks like it's a piece of a book. It looks like it's looks like a Picasso signed book. So it could be a book of prints, but it's definitely from a signed book. Yes, Burrow's like, I'm pretty sure Lee is on his way to your location right now. And it's not to shake my hand. Ask Lee about how much he loves. How much he loves Pablo Picasso. And he will tell you exactly how much he loves Pablo Picasso. They're like bread and butter. Two peas in a pod. Oh, that's backwards. Oh, looks like we hit the auto. Looks like it goes this way. Oh, let's talk about presidents. Let's talk about President Gerald Ford. That's not Carter. Chef is like, only president not elected. It's true. Oh, look at that. Got a little JSA cert on it, too. It's a nice little bonus. Dangle's like, mine? There you go, a little JSA cert, too, for the Jerry. There you go. That is cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like the black on red. It's a good contrast. All right, well, this one shouldn't be an auto. If it is, that's a heck of a bonus. What's up, Hellbolt? Love you, man. That is handwriting. Holy crap, John Dillinger. Are you kidding me? It is two-sided. Man, listen. Listen. Does anybody know who is responsible for the manhunt for John Dillinger. Wouldn't it be fun if it was that guy? That is definitely a college-ruled lined piece of paper. That is pencil. Leech. They made a movie about it. Al Capone. Alphonse Capone. Okay, so this is a list of hotels in New York. This is typed. Okay, hold on. I don't know for certain. I don't know for certain. But if I had to guess, these are pieces, and this is a guess that I don't know. I wonder if these are pieces of the investigation. I wonder if this is a list of hotels that he had, when he was under surveillance. I wonder if this is while under surveillance for the court. This is a list of places he stayed, and what we don't see is the when. And I'm wondering if this is a note from the investigation. I wonder if this is I wonder if that's what this is. Again, I don't know. I don't have the answer. Just like the other telegram, I can only go by context clues and hunches. But this looks like a list of hotels, and I bet you this side had dates and times to go with this list. I would love to see more of this one pulled to kind of get a general idea. And this wouldn't surprise me if this was a investigator's notes on the Dillinger case, because this could be, and again, this is speculation, pure speculation, but it makes sense to me that you have two pieces of the investigations of very high-profile cases. Do you think if you had all the Capone pieces, you would have the entire letter? Possibly, or we could find out that it's a document instead of a letter. I don't know. I would love to. I will scour eBay for more of these to see if I can put those pieces together. Either way, this is cool. I almost swore. This is really cool. It's the best way to put it. We're gonna put mob hits. Let's call this one the mob hits. So is that the reprint or a clip of the original? This is absolutely original. I will guarantee you that's original because I can see it's pencil. That is not photocopied. The light in hand, you can see the light hitting the graphite differently. That is honest to God pencil on paper. I know that for a fact. This is a typed, it's either a typed transcript, a typed letter. I mean, that's absolutely typed. But this is original. This is not a copy. I will personally tell you there's no way that that's copied. I can see the pencil. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. No doubt in my mind. And whoever wins it will confirm it. With that said, let's find out who wins it. So we have the Edison Stock 30. We have the Obama book, the Picasso, the Ford Auto, and the Mob Hit. Listen, 3 out of those 5 are absolutely knockout tremendous. 3 out of those 5 are absolutely tremendous, I have to say. Chef Dangle, you know the drill. 7 times. Sorry, I had to recenter it. There we go. All right, good luck, gentlemen. Dangle, Chef, Chef. You cannot have a more fair drop-off. Somebody's getting number 1, somebody's getting number 2. Nobody's stacked on the top. That is about as fair as it gets when it comes to the top 2 hits. That's about as fair as you can possibly get. But Dangle, fortune smiles upon you. Edison, Obama, Picasso, Ford, or the Mob Hit? What you thinking? I know. It's not as cut and dry. Normally it's like snap decision, it's the autograph. This kind of complicates it. There's legitimately 3 awesome things here. I do agree. The Mob Hit and the Ford are my top 2. I would say that Edison is my number 3. This is my personal list. I agree with your top 2 picks. Either way, you're walking away with something of note. You've either got an awesome presidential auto, or you have a very interesting piece of mob history. It's not easy. It is not easy. Anything with Capone's name on it is going to have value to a collector. It could be belly button lint. Somebody would want it. Excuse me. All right, Chef. What are you thinking? Mob Hit. Yeah, that was your snap decision right there. Edison, Obama, or Picasso? And then Chef will clear the table. Edison. All right, Dangle got Ford and Edison. Chef got the Mob, Picasso, and Obama. What a wonderful and delightfully interesting little break that was. All right, That's the mob hit, so that's Chef. Put that in the Chef pile. Ford goes to Dangle. Chef said, trade a Freddie Prince auto for a Zeus coin. Oh, that is a very interesting little piece right there. Interesting. Don't mind me, I'm just sorting. That goes to Chef. If I did this right, this is the suit. And it is. All right, so if you are going to make that trade, Chef and Dangle, I'm going to make you put that one in Discord. I would need that one in a third-party location. I was teetering with that decision when I made my pick. I have exactly 0 coins in my collection, and I know exactly 0 about them. Contemplate, my friend, contemplate. All right, I've listed the last case up there. I don't expect that to go tonight, but it is available if you guys want to pre-sell it for next week or think about it. Brent, that is an amazing question that has a fairly straightforward answer. When it comes to ancient coins, whether they're bronze, gold, or silver, it's highly dependent upon a couple of things. The first one, more than anything else, is going to be, just like cards, the condition. If it is a bronze coin, the condition is going to be the number one thing. The second thing you're going to look for is the era. Which of the emperors is on the coin? People will collect coins that have Caligula on them because they're depraved and they don't care. They just want Caligula on their currency. Other people will only collect Caesars because Augustus and Julius were pretty darn good at what they did. When you get to the silvers and the golds, the gold ones are obviously worth a substantial amount more because they're gold. Typically, those lasted in better condition because those who had gold coins had the means to keep them well. The gold coins are going to be based on size because there are about 3 or 4 sizes typically used in ancient coins. But if you're looking between the same size and thickness and weight of a gold coin, that also is going to be dependent upon who has been imprinted in them. Now, most of these ancient coins were actually done in an old traditional way, where the not coinsmith, I can't remember this. It's a smith. They would have I'm going to draw it. It's going to be easier if I draw it for you. So here. All right. So, there are different areas of ancient, and I do a lot of Roman coins. There are different areas that those come from, and they have, it's called a benchmark. A lot of those coins have what's called a benchmark on them. The benchmark is found typically on the back of the coin in the bottom center of the coin. Now, I'm going to show you two sides of this. I am not Lee Cozy. I cannot draw well. So forgive me for what I'm about to show you, because it's going to be poor, but it is my best effort to help you. I'm doing stick figures because that's all I'm capable of doing. But I promise you I will be able to tell you what it that's really bad. I'm embarrassed of what I just did. Let's try this again. There we go. Do 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 boo 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 boo. Do 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 boo boo boo. All right, so clearly from the same document on the Capone. Excellent. While you're telling us what that is, I will explain what this ridiculous mess is. So these were made more often than not specifically around the 2 to 300 CE era. They would be made, they would have a benchmark on them, and that means it came from a specific bench, from a specific city where it was minted. Now, on a modern coin, you will have the coin is minted and imprinted is, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and Salt Lake City, and whatever. It was different back then. It was all done by hand. So the person would have their bench, their ironwork bench, and set into this would be a removable insert. And they would hit that with the more I'm looking at this, the more embarrassed I am, with a mallet. And the mallet would be an iron mallet that would also have an engraving on the inside. They would take the molten gold and they would drop a predetermined amount onto this, hey, Bourbon, onto the bench. And this is the side view. The top view, looking down, it would have the converse area. So on the back of the coin, the imprint of the back of the coin in a permanent, iron detail would be set into the table. They would drop the gold, one dollop of the liquid melted gold, into here. This is a different look from the hammer. Embedded in the hammer, in the hammer as opposed to the anvil, the hammer would have the face of the emperor and the name of the city and the emperor on it. So they would drop the molten gold onto there, and then they would strike it with the hammer. So you can typically tell ones that were done in this fashion because when looking at two coins from the same bench, they may not have the same alignment of the direction that he's facing and the direction of the back of the coin. Because they were individually striking the molten gold or silver freehand, it would be turned based on how they struck it. If there was a different person, if there was a left-handed person, which typically there weren't because you would get in trouble for being left-handed back then, whole nother story, you would find that it's completely obverse. So traditionally, those coins were made stamped this way, with the actual one side of the coin on the hammer, the other side of the coin in the anvil, and gold dolloped in there. It would be sandwiched. So a lot of those, and I used to have some with me, I gave them to Trevor, and I don't think they're here anymore. Some of those, hey Lee, some of those you will see the perfect round coin, but there's almost like a slag where they hit it slightly off. But when you flip it over, that side of the coin that was off still has the proper imprint of the obverse side. Lee, I apologize that you walked into this, but this is as good as I can get. I'm explaining how ancient coins were minted by hand by having the front on the mallet and the obverse on the... Of course, more artists would pour in as I'm making bad art. Hey, Lee, we were actually, that's a good point, Sep. We were talking about your undying and unyielding love for Picasso. In a family-friendly manner, would you be able to describe how much you love Picasso and his contributions as an educator and as an all-round guy? Art aside? I should frame that? Yeah, I should burn it so that it's never seen by humans. Excuse me. I always thought those old coins were minted by gladiators clenching their butt cheeks. Greek. Greek coins are gladiator butt cheeks. The Roman coins, I believe, are stamped. Bourbon. Bourbon said, I bought some stuff. What'd you buy, Bourbon? Did you buy some new art? Did you buy a Ferrari California? Did you buy a Lamborghini Countach? Did you buy some corn? Because I like corn. That's how diamonds were made. Picasso, great at marketing. His academic art was awesome. After that, he sort of went downhill buying his own marketing. Ooh, a pack of Tic Tacs. Did you buy a Hellbolt? Hellbolt, I did not know you were for sale. And if you were for sale, was this bidding or was it for a buy it now? Yeah, for sale, buy it now. After my trip to New York, I have no monies. All my monies are gone. Um, I don't know what Bourbon bought. I think Bourbon just came in seeing that stuff was being opened and was scaring everybody by saying he bought something. He's like, watch this. I bought something. And everyone's like, oh no. Did you see my post about the autographed Taylor Swift vinyl photo? Wait, what? I love Tay-Tay. Hellbolt? You got something signed by Tay-Tay? I love Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift, and I will arm wrestle anybody who says I'm not allowed to. Yeah, Lee, how was TwitchCon? She signed a CD and a vinyl. How did you get a CD and a vinyl signed by her? That's what I want to know. Midnights? So I know she's been doing the reveal of her album songs. Check the Discord general. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be unprofessional. I'm gonna do it on my phone. It's faster than my tablet. Lee's like, I ditched Megan the Stallion to hang out here tonight. I can call her and see if that is actually true. Oh man, I am so jealous. I dig that Hellbolt. I'm not even gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I'm jelly. I'm assuming they're all sold out. I can't imagine that is something that would stay available for long. It is sold out in minutes. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that. We Swifties tend to be pretty rabid about our Tay-Tay love. I'm assuming it was while I was on vacation that happened because I wasn't even informed. My Tay-Tay app did not alert me to the sale. I do have a real nice Audio Technica turntable. I'll think about that. Something about Twitch cutting the partner's percentage, saying it's a budget thing, then hired Megan as the live act. Partners seemed very upset at TwitchCon about that. That's interesting. 70-30 split is only for the first 100K. Then it's a 50-50. So they're going to take 70% of the first 100K? Or you're getting 70% of the first 100K. And then you're forced to split it evensies. Streamers get the 70. And then they're splitting it to 50-50 for only 100,000. That's pretty crappy. Until you earn. Oh, that's even worse. Well, no, that's technically better, but still sucks. Hmm. Well, thankfully, I am not earning 100K from Twitch. Nor in any likelihood will I. Even if I was as popular as some. Now, listen. If I started a hot tub stream and I rocked out in a nice little, if we installed a hot tub in here and I rocked my awesome my Gucci Speedo, my Gucci branded Speedo brand Speedo, do you guys think I could get to 100K? Would I get more subs, or do you think less people would like to see a bald, fat white guy in a Speedo lounging in? What if I did hot tub breaks? We threw caution into the wind, and the trick was not getting the cards wet while I broke from the hot tub. If everything's encapsulated like the super breaks, I could do super breaks, pieces of the past hot tub edition. And look it, see, I mean, even if my hands were wet, it's a plastic bag and it's a sealed, I mean, hot tub breaks featuring DC and super breaks. I mean, that might be my 100,000. For the first time in my life, I might actually make 100K. All I need is Chef's like, no. No. As a matter of fact, Chef's like, no, I'm not going to watch it anymore. Just me and my moobs and a lot of bubbles and cards. Get a kiddie pool and stick it on the floor. So this is a true story. I'm going to say this. When I was just streaming before I was doing, I know, I'm aware it's 100% a thing. Believe me, I know, because the joke was I was going to do that. So a little background. I used to be an improv comedian. I used to be a stage comedian. And one of my trademarks is I was going to do anything for a laugh, whether it's falling down a flight of stairs like Chevy Chase, whether it was, insulting a member of the crowd like Dave Attell, or whether it was just saying the most ridiculous thing I could think of, like any member of Monty Python. I was going to go all in for the joke. So when I was streaming before I was breaking cards, after I worked for that other place, the hot tub and kiddie pool thing was like going off. And I jokingly said to Mrs. the Breaker, I said, I know nothing, Hellbolt, that's true. I said, Mrs. the Breaker, what do you say I get a kiddie pool? I fill it with like 100 little rubber duckies and get a bunch of floaties. And then I rock like a Little Mermaid bathing suit, and I jokingly advertise myself in the hot tub stream channel. And I just Mel's like, I'd watch the hot tub. Fill it with pack wrappers. Oh, Sapporos, that's great. Fill it with pack wrappers. Just floating pack wrappers. And I was going to basically off screen have a feed of one of the current active hot tub streamers. And I would do exactly what that particular hot tub streamer was doing. Whether it's like poses like this, or oops, I dropped my towel. Like, I was going to just be ridiculous. and do that. And I seriously thought about it. Right around that time, somebody, our dear friend Creepa, who I've actually chatted with recently, by the way, shout out to Creepa, bought James a little kiddie pool, and I really had to stop myself from taking that and putting it in the second floor of my house, filling it with water and rubber duckies, and fulfilling that ridiculous scene. Um, and just as I was really thinking about doing it and being ridiculous and being a pioneer and being the anti-hot tub, lo and behold, another much larger gentleman than I did that exact thing. And sure as crap stinks, he made a fortune. I stumbled across his, and he had like 3,000 people watching him, and he had like 10,000 subscribers. And I immediately realized I was about 3 weeks too late to being a millionaire. And I would happily embarrass myself to be that wealthy. Unfortunately, now I have to work really hard to get a fraction of that. But it was a great idea. I just had it a little bit too late. All right, Dangle. I love you, man. I am so happy to see you. I am so happy to hear about your Mariners. I'm so happy to hear about Brent's Guardians. Doug says, I've seen a guy who annoys his roommates by putting rubber duckies in the bathroom. So what he's trying to say is Doug used to put rubber duckies in his roommate's bathroom. Yeah, so Bourbon was just pranking us. Bourbon does not have an order in. And that's okay. We still love him. That's a pretty terrible drawing. What are you gonna do? All right, Hellbolt, love you too, man. You have a good evening. Everybody's bailing on me. It's 8:15 Pacific, which means it's about 11:15 Eastern. So I guess I mean, unless somebody orders something, I could let you guys go. I know you've missed me. It's already been 2 hours. I can tell you missed me because there's still 18 of you here this late. But I have told you everything. Well, almost everything. I left out one small detail about my week, but some things are best left unsaid. But aside from that, you guys now know about my entire vacation. Go be social with your guests. Yeah, I believe those who are raised in fjords tend to be offended if you do not attend to them. Yeah, chef's like, I gotta wait. Nah, yeah, I was like, wait, I got an order. All right, well, we'll call that. We will call that a day then. Plus, I still have more packing to do as far as shipping your stuff out, so I will take this opportunity to do that. All right, so with that said, just because I wasn't here Thursday or Friday doesn't mean this doesn't ring any less or more true than ever before. It's the exact same. I love each and every one of you. Please take care of yourselves and each other so that we can do this again next week. I will be here Thursday with bells on. Not literally, but figuratively. So please be careful, take care, so I can see you at the same place at the same time next Thursday. Take care, everybody.